Welcome to another edition of Smalltalk for You. This morning I wanted to take a look at connecting to databases using VA Smalltalk. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use an ODBC data source, since that's a fairly common way of doing things in the Windows world. And what I'm going to do is just grab the database connection spec, and to get this I should probably point out a couple of things. First, under Tools, Load and Unload Features, I'm going to take a look at what I've loaded. I've loaded the database ODBC, the ODBC samples, the basic database connectivity package. So I've got all of these things in the image that I've loaded from the load and unload features. That's what you want to do first. Once you've got those in, you can then do simple things like this. Set up a connection specification by giving it the name of the class you want to use, and there are various database manager classes for each kind of database, so you can just go ahead and look at the hierarchy for that. You can give it a name, and this name is what you've specified for the ODBC data source, or in the case of something like SQL Server or Oracle, the name that you would find in the appropriate lookups for those. And then I'm going to just create a dictionary. At WinLocal, put my connection source data source name. At DB Manager, put the conspec DBM class. And then here for prompting, if I'm going to be prompted for a connection, that just puts up a prompt enabled. Then I can connect a login spec to it. So I tell it I want to give it a username and password, and those are strings that I've defined upstream here, and I'm not showing those because no need to show you that information. And then finally, register that login spec with a name, so I've given it an alias. Now once you've got a login spec and a connection spec, what you can do is you can connect one of two ways. And what I'll do is I've already executed all of this code. If I want to connect with a prompt, I do this one here. So I'll do an execute, and you see it's going to prompt me, so I can put in my username and then a password. And it leaves WinLocal there, and I hit login, and it's going to log in. So now let me disconnect from that. And if I already just wanted to use the login spec I've defined, I've went through all the trouble to put in that information, so I can say connect using the alias WinLocal spec. And instead of prompting me, this is useful if you want to write a server. So for instance, you're writing maybe a web app, and you want to just connect without having anything come up. Well, there you go. You can connect that way too. So it's very easy to create specifications to log into databases and then get going with database access. And in future screencasts, we'll get into querying databases and doing actually useful things with them as opposed to just connecting to them. But that's about it for today. Until next time, have fun with whatever Smalltalk you're using.